Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How's it going? I hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had jolly holidays and, good new year.
Hope everyone's staying safe, warm,
Yup.
healthy. Everybody's sick. Everybody's sick.
Well, some people asked me if I was doing the New Year, New Me, and I told them no. Just, New Year, same shit.
There's a YouTuber. It's Julie something. She was the one who started explaining the quarantine
To her
like,
past self.
She's the one who started that, and she's now on video 6.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
She was like, "We're supposed to be done," and it's like,
yep.
No.
Is that the one where she was then like, so Betty White was trending?
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, that's the last one where she's got blue hair.
No.
It's like,
and she screams into a pillow. Yeah, I watched that one this morning. I was like, yeah, I'm not okay with the whole Betty White thing. That was
Here's where I land, because I had to land on this with Sondheim as well. Of good long life, good career, made a difference. No big controversies.
Yeah, controversy scandals.
Globally loved. It seemed to go nicely.
Yeah.
Really living the dream. And that's what I have to land on. Like, because Sondheim was 90, 89, 92. And like,
yeah.
For Sondheim, had Thanksgiving with friends.
Oh, man.
Went home, just didn't wake up.
Died in his sleep. That is like, that is
the
the way I would want to go. Like a good starchy meal, fill up on some carbs, take a little nap, and just done.
And like, it's sad, but also find comfort in the long life, a life well lived, good career, beloved.
I mean,
it's the way you want to. It's a bummer. Like, no, she made it to 100. We're not even gonna do that.
Yeah,
but
she made it to 100.
I forget what I was seeing, but they were advertising that they were throwing a party for Betty White's 100th, and I was like, "Don't put that in the universe. Yeah, don't do that."
People magazine killed Betty White.
You didn't know. Don't.
It's like, don't jinx it. Come on.
Both me and my friend were like, "That is tempting fate too much."
From the past couple of years to not put that out in the universe.
Let it to go quietly into the night. That's how the queen is gonna live so long. She
just don't make a big deal out of it. Just scoot on by. It's fine. But I mean,
that's how I choose to look at it.
Yeah. But like, how much of a good person have you been if you die at 99 and people still think it's too soon? That's true. She was great. And I got a hold of HBO connection somehow.
HBO?
Or Hulu, I don't know. I think it's Hulu. I don't know. It's Hulu. It's one of those American streaming things, and I'm watching The Golden Girls, and I was like in the middle of season 1 when she died. I was like, no.
What I have loved on TikTok, they've started going, because like the women in the Sex and the City reboot are like relatively the same age.
They're older.
They're older. So people are just being like, it's literally the hair and the makeup. Like that's the only thing that made them, because they weren't that old.
No, they weren't. They were in their 50s.
Hi, Kitty.
Also, Estelle Getty played an 80-year-old woman, and she was, I think, the youngest. I definitely...
No, she wasn't the youngest.
Rue McClanahan was the youngest, but both...
I think Bea Arthur was the oldest.
Betty White was the oldest. But she and Bea Arthur were born at the same year, but they were both older than Estelle Getty. And I was like...
It's makeup and it's hair. That Jew it just screams older to just, everybody.
Like, the one clip that kept like resurfacing for me was when she was like telling that St. Olaf story about the herring war. And apparently she like just riffed the whole thing, just improvised the whole thing, and both Bea Arthur and Rue McClanahan were just like losing their shit, and they just kept it. It was beautiful.
I love when you can tell like people are trying to like not laugh because they start to do like face plants, but it's mainly so they can just hide their mouths.
Yeah, so they don't have to like make that eye contact that will make them crack up.
This is Under the Plum Bot, by the way. We're a podcast where we talk about this.
Yes. I can actually turn it back around because we are talking about Cottage Living, which brought us chickens, and in one episode, Rose brought a chicken in to the house, a live chicken who could play the piano. So, boom.
Rose would have chickens. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, she grew up on a farm. Boom. She grew up on a farm.
B. Arthur's character would have no business with animals.
No, but she grew up in the city, didn't she? She was like, yeah, Brooklyn Italian.
Yeah, but I remember, like, some of the, like, there's just some characters you're like, you're a chicken person. You're not a chicken person.
No, definitely not a chicken person.
I'm not a chicken person. I appreciate them, but in person, no.
I want chickens.
Yeah.
I bought a house recently, but unfortunately my garden is not big enough for chickens. Like, anything that had a garden that was big enough for chickens was out of my budget. Unfortunately, someday, I'm gonna have me some chickens, and their names will be Joan Cluckford and Henny Lamar. One day I will have both of you. Maybe a rooster too. Roosters are a bit loud, but if I had a rooster, I'd name him Fred Rooster.
What's the rooster from? Shoot, it's an animated show about a rooster.
Rockadoodle?
Rockadoodle.
No.
He's modeled off of Elvis.
No.
What is that rooster's name?
I don't like that movie.
I want to know why in the 90s owls were such a fucking nightmare.
I still blame Don Bluth for that. Mostly.
Was that Once Upon a... Because he responsible for
Once Upon a Forest and Secret of NIMH. Once Upon a Forest was the owl with a glass eye. Also, how the fuck did an owl get a glass eye?
Also, you fully see, like, dead parents.
Yeah, that was not cool. Like, look, I've said this before, and I will say it again. I will keep saying this. Don Bluth used to say, like, his creed was, you can throw anything you want at young children as long as you give them a happy ending. Mr. Bluth, my therapy bills do not agree with this, okay? He, like, most of his movies...
Maybe he's teaching us that it's okay to be sad.
Yeah, so, well, I don't think it worked.
To do with Once Upon a Forest. It was the Hanna-Barbera production. So Tom and Jerry and, like, the Flintstones and the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo.
Yep.
And Once Upon a Forest.
He was definitely responsible for Secret of NIMH.
Elizabeth Moss is in Once Upon a Forest?
Is she?
Oh,
I know what's his name, who played the Phantom.
He's the little badger who becomes sick.
Oh, no, she's Michelle.
You knew that name so quick? I don't know any of these names.
Yeah.
I'm playing, there's an idea floating around for bonus content for a Patreon that if we find a way to record ourselves watching something and, like, have us watch stuff. And the big issue is someone to find to edit it. Because, like, it's really easy. I found I've been like, okay, so I've been able to video myself, the recording. I can talk through movies. I do it all the time. I wait for, especially if I can pause the movie. Bet.
Oh, I fucking love that. Remember how we were going to do that Digimon podcast?
Yeah.
We should do that with just us watching Digimon and go, like,
yeah. It would just be us dancing to the theme song. That would be most of it. It's mainly, like, editing that would be a nightmare. And someone would have to watch my face watching a thing.
Yeah, no, I get that. I've always wanted to try editing video, though. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Who knows? But I know What's His Nuts was in there. He was a Broadway...
Michael Crawford.
Yeah, Michael Crawford. The OG
Phantom.
Yeah.
Also, he was in the movie Hello, Dolly.
Yeah. He has a very funny way of saying his R's. Like, I still remember him saying rheumatism. Very good at his enunciation. But yeah, we were talking about cottage living. At least that's what we were...
That's the topic. I don't think we've been talking about it.
No, but we're gonna do it now. Starting now. Okay. Cottage living. So, hands in the air. Who wanted a farming expansion? Obviously, that was everybody.
No, I did not. I'm being honest. I was like, I don't really care about it.
I think if, like, whenever we had new pack expansions before Cottage Living, like, there was a good chunk of people calling for either generations or, like, farming.
Yeah, to say the vocal majority wanted a farming pack was a large amount. That's true. I was of the, I don't care. I don't not want it. I also just don't care.
You're not gonna, like, yell at people who did want it, because that also happens, and, like, guys, please stop doing that. Just let people have fun. If you don't want it, don't buy it.
Let people like things.
Yep.
It's okay. If this pack's not for you, save yourself some money. When you get extra money, buy the thing.
Except if that thing is my first pet stuff.
Yeah.
Still salty about that.
Trash.
No. But okay, so a lot of people wanted a farming expansion, and now we have one. Sort of. Sort of. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. So Cottage Living is like kind of farming, but not really farming. It's like farming light.
Mm-hmm.
It's still more farming than we're used to, but not as much farming as we want, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It's just the amount of the farming.
Yeah. So
I feel like if you went any deeper, you start getting into farming games.
Yeah. And obviously we're not supposed to have like Stardew Valley in The Sims, but that would be cool. So Cottage Living gave us livestock like we've never had before. Like this is the first time we got like animals that we could interact with, like livestock animals that we could interact with and like really take care of and like milk our cows, etc.
In defense of the objects, because technically when it revealed or people figured out that the animals were objects, people were fucking pissed.
Yep.
In defense of objects, I kind of like them better this way. Like, I know the cats and dogs have more free reign and they can run around, but also, like, I can hover over my llama and figure out what the fuck's wrong with the llama.
Exactly. That is really nice. And, like, it's, you have to put more care into them than you did with the Sims 3 store. Like, the cows and the chickens and whatnot. It's, like, a lot more interactive, which is nice.
They will fucking leave.
Yep. They're like, you won't feed me? Fine, I'll go somewhere else.
You have not brushed me in days, and I don't like that.
Nope. And they just peace out, which is fine. So we got chickens, we got llamas, we got cows. However, they did not deliver on horses, which made Vanity sad, which is not
I also don't, because of the way they chose to do the animals, I don't think horses would have been done well in this pack.
No, and it's not like you don't have that big open world where you can just plop someone down on a horse and go for a ride, which is a shame.
Well, I think, like, because you can still go in the little segment, I think horses could be possible, but I think the horses would make more sense as a gameplay kit, which we have gotten one of. Or its own thing, but I also don't know what that one thing would be. I don't know what you would include horses in that came with it, but I don't think object work is because you need them to go more places, and objects can only go so far.
Yeah, those cows and those llamas are very much stuck to their sheds.
The chickens go pretty far.
Yeah, the chickens do go pretty far, but I always keep them like in a small enclosed space because I tend to lose track of them. But we have like animal-wise, I'm okay with them. They also gave us new crops, and I'm going to talk about those new crops. Okay, we'll talk about those later. But they gave us new crops, which is nice. They gave us cross stitching, which made Jess and me really happy, and it gave us canning, which I also have something to say about, but we will talk about that later. So without further ado, let's talk about Cottage Living. Let's get down to the information.
Announced on June 10th, 2021, Cottage Living was released on all platforms July 22nd, 2021, last year. They're getting really, the times between the announcement and I think also, I'm wondering if it's because people they're leaking it so quickly. Because, you know, like every time they did an update, people would dig through the data and be like, they made room for another expansion pack. Look at the data line. And you're like,
wasn't there something leaked recently as well? Like a new kit?
Did they leak it?
I think so.
Well, they figured out that the next pack was the next game pack's a love pack pretty quick, which by the time this drops, we might know more.
Carnival Streetwear.
Was that
what I saw? So it was leaked apparently by the same person who was the first one to leak the Blooming Rooms kit from the Microsoft Store database, and the same person has now leaked Carnival Streetwear kit.
Follow that person. Who is that? Drop that name.
It is at Alumia_Italia.
We should follow them. Can you copy that to me so I can follow them?
I absolutely can.
I don't trust my spelling ability. My name everywhere is how I spell it for a reason. I can't spell worse shit.
But yeah, Carnival Streetwear kit is the new leak. It's supposed to be a thing. It's gonna give us more stuff that townies can look ridiculous in. So that's fun.
It's a very stylized choice.
Yeah. The official description of the pack that we're talking about, Cottage Living, reads: raise or befriend animals. The cottage cow provides fresh, flavored milk for everyone, while chickens lay eggs in the coop. Gather llama wool for crafts, but beware of mischievous foxes. The pesky critters love eggs. In the forest.
I fucking love how much foxes are in this pack.
Oh, I fucking love whenever I see them. I'm like, I won't pet you.
I love foxes so much, and I thought like the max amount of foxes we'd get, because in cats and dogs you can make a dog fox the same way you can make a cat raccoon, and I was like, okay, this is more fox than I anticipated, so I'll never do this because they're trash dogs. Yeah, but which they kind of are.
Now they're here.
So cute.
They are so cute.
There's a white one,
and you can befriend them and then ask them not to steal your eggs, which is
I love them so much. I can give it. Continue.
Also, in the forest, keep an eye out for wildlife like rabbits, which is my jam. I fucking love them, and you can dress them up in little jackets and little bow ties. I mean, birds as well, to earn their trust for occasional gifts and help in the garden.
The birds are fully assholes sometimes, though. Yeah. Like, if you sing to them, they will poop on you sometimes. Yep.
Absolutely. There was no Disney princessing allowed in these woods.
Yeah, I had a family I made to just, like, live. I like to just make a new family and send them into the world and be like, okay, you're fully invested in the whatever the pack is. Yep. The girl got pooped on every single time. The dude will sing. He sings to every, like, and their singing level was nothing when they started. Sings to the birds, sings to the foxes, sings to the bunnies. They all love it. She can't sing to them. They hate her when she does it. Wow. I was like, what? Oh, and I checked from the person who looked too much into the gnomes and found out there is a code. There is no code to the birds, and every single bird tree has different gifts they like. Every single rabbit likes different things. Yeah, it's all randomly generated. We can't make a chart out of this. There's no chart to give. They all like different things. I think they might have been like, oh, fuck, they figured it out. I have found that with rabbits, you can't really go wrong with produce. Yeah, they do like produce. Although I did give a fox a book once, and he loved it. I don't know. Yeah. Like, all right, Mr. Smarta Fox. I think I tried to give a flower to a rabbit, and it was like, fuck that. And I was like, oh, but you can eat it. I don't understand. My rabbits, I had pet rabbits when I was a kid, and one of my rabbits, the little black one, he loved dandelions. Oh, fucking munching all the dandelions. He was real cute. But yeah, there's that. You can live off the land. You can make cooking and gardening fun for the whole family. Okay, has anybody gotten the cooking together to work? Yeah. Depends, especially if it's like 4 and there's no counter space for it. Yeah. Like, there's got to be counter space for everybody. If there's not enough counter space. I've never actually had Sims cook together before, even if it was just 2. There's like one person doing the cooking and the other person just stands there and chats with them. And that's fine too. They built like, I'm also okay with that. If there's enough counter space, at least 2 or 3 will do it. I tried to get my whole 100 Babies Challenge family to, so it was like, that was too many, but like the kid was like stirring shit. But they end up getting like a memory out of it, and their relationships go up. So it's still, even if they're not fully doing the animation, there's still benefits. I guess that's okay. Plus, I do have to admit, if I'm cooking, leave me the fuck alone. Don't come into my kitchen. Don't talk to me. Don't offer to help. You're not helping. You're in the way. Leave. I love you. I will feed you. That is how I show my affection, by feeding you. But you gotta let me cook. So GTFO. You can't help and be fed. No, you want to help do the dishes after we're done eating. That's how you help. But while I'm cooking, leave. So yeah, there's new recipes and lot challenges that require fresh ingredients for each meal, which was very interesting because that just basically means that the things you need to make the meal don't magically appear in your fridge anymore. You actually have to have them, so you either have to grow them or you have to order the amount of groceries. Challenge that this brought was so beloved by everybody, including me. Like, it's literally like, because there's been rumblings of Sims 4 is too easy, which it is kind of like too easy. So we need challenges, but don't like murder us. We want like a challenge that we can hit. And having to have whatever it is actively in your fridge
Yeah, having to plan ahead, having to go to the village market, or forage in the wild, or grow things, or order groceries.
Or kill your
Or
chickens.
kill your chickens!
Every time a
Oh,
chicken
God,
every
Nugget!
time I have an animal that gets elderly, you're dead.
I could never do that.
We're selling you for okay, we're sending you in
No.
for produce or meat.
I could
Like
never do that to Joan Cluckford and Henny Lamar. Never.
so during my live stream during my Speed Legacy, it was just Jess was hanging out in the chat, and it was when Cottage Living came. So I was like, "Let's get chickens. What are we naming them?" And they were all like, "Nugget, Tender,
Pie.
Pie was one of them." Yes,
Pie. I remember Pie. Oh, God.
It was all just a bunch of just like you are for like. Because as soon as the person in the house who wanted these is gone, we're also getting rid of them because there's too many people in this house.
When I was playing Harvest Moon, I couldn't think of names for my sheep, so I started naming them after knitwear. So I had cardigan, I had sweater, I had sock, I had scarf. I just like, look, man, your wool is getting turned to the clothes anyway. Might as well name you after it. But yeah, whether Sims grow their own produce, visit the village market, or forage in the wild, fresh is best. Are you up for a challenge? Try growing oversized crops to enter in the competition at the Finchwick Fair, which we will also talk about.
Want to know what's like the worst mashup I discovered?
The worst mashup.
So you have the challenge where you have to use what you have.
Yeah.
But you also have that stupid nap thing that gets rid of the electricity for like a certain amount of hours.
I hate that.
I also, side note, we need, if the kids ever get an update the way that Spot Day did, give me a fucking broom. I think I might have complained about this last time, but I need a broom. Maybe somebody listens who can do something. I need to update it, give me a broom so we can deal with this while the electricity is out.
Also, they don't work off the grid, so...
But the dust does, but you can turn off the dust.
Yeah, but then, like, what's the point?
The point, yeah. It's the point of this kit was the gameplay.
It's like, oh, if you want to play this particular lot type, you have to turn this entire kit off, which is dumb.
Give me a broom.
Yup.
Okay, continue. Sorry. I had to, that recently happened. That was the house I was playing through in this house, and I was like, there's no electricity.
No, I get that though. Like I wanted to play like the Through the Centuries challenge or what.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about if the Speed Legacy ever finishes, which the air just screw up, so I had to hunt down a young adult male.
I really want to play that one, but I want to be able to. I don't want to have to like turn that kit off because I think it's like an interesting aspect to have around.
It adds more stuff, especially the early decades are like, okay, we actually have to do the lawn. We have to like wash the laundry, hang it up to dry, and we have to like you have to go do all this stuff. And if I have to turn off and sweeping would add to it.
Yeah, that would be nice. Like, give us a fucking broom. Like we have them.
Yeah, just make them usable.
But like, let us actually sweep with them instead of just flying on them. You know. So yeah, also embrace village life. So Henford-on-Bagley is a cozy village where everyone knows everyone. So pick a picnic basket and cross-stitch hoop and head down to the Gnome's Arms pub to kick back with the locals after a long day.
I haven't picnicked yet. I do like that, the Gnome's Arms pub. I like that pub.
Yeah, I'm still trying to also figure out how to do the picnic thing, but
I haven't purchased.
You need a picnic basket, and I think you then have to have like food in your inventory that you have to put in the picnic basket. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You can earn unique gifts and learn about the town's lore from neighbors, or you can participate in the Finchwick Fair to show off your most prized cow or chicken.
They had to do an update so that if you had, like, say you had a perfect cow, you didn't have a higher chance of winning with that perfect cow. They had to do an update to make that happen. And it's like, why do you guys keep doing I think that might have been in the last episode.
I mean, I get it, though.
I should remember it's been like a week, but I don't.
It's like, obviously, if you make some kind of competition, the highest rank of cow is going to win. That just seems obvious.
I mainly think it was last week, because I think it was last episode only because I remember being like, because the magic duels are random, and that's stupid. If I'm a high-ranked magic person, I should have a better chance of winning. But I don't.
I honestly really liked, but y'all know how I feel about Sims 1. I really liked the magic dueling in the Sims 1 because it was kind of like a rock, paper, scissors thing. Whereas you had to pick an element. I don't know.
I'm Caitlin. That's Ava. Hi. Ava.
Hello. But I really liked the thing, like you had to pick an element and then your opponent would pick an element. but you wouldn't see what the other one picked until they came up against each other. So it was kind of like really random.
Like a Pokemon.
Yeah, like it took some skill, which I really liked.
All of mine all my magic users learn the helpful stuff like Reparo and Scrubbo. And then that's how they become master spellcasters. Yep. They just fix shit. It's just easier. It's less expensive. It's quicker.
Henford on Bagley is based on our rural UK countryside. And just for, a quick FYI, that's where I'm planning to retire.
It's pretty.
I love the English countryside. Fucking love it.
And it's 12 lots. They could have fit more in there. Yeah. Per usual. I don't know why they like having, especially they like having like, look, in the house, there's a house next door to you, but no one can live in that house next door to you. It was really bad in whatever the Get Famous town was.
Oh yeah, Dulcel Valley.
Dulcel Valley is probably the worst example of like, why are there there's like 3 mansions and like 2 or 4, like what's happening? Like that's stupid. They should have put apartments in that one. I don't understand why they didn't.
Yeah, no, that was dumb.
And also they should be very expensive because that's how LA is.
They should be.
They should be unreasonable, and we'd be like, yes, realism. We'd bitch about it, but it would be like, oh.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I recently bought a house. Shit's not normal how much a house costs. Okay, so a newly built, quote unquote, affordable house is like starting at $250,000. Mm-hmm. And because it's completely newly built, that price, the $250,000, does not include the 21% VAT that you have to pay for it. So it's probably going to be more like $300,000. So yeah, that's affordable. So yeah, do that shit in Sims, make them like stupidly expensive in these neighborhoods so nobody can live
like
there.
Certain neighborhoods. And do you like the build buy in this?
I love the build buy in this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, cottagecore is my jam. Like I just said, I want to retire in the English countryside. I want to live in a little cottage. I want to have my chickens. I want to have a cow in the garden. I want to grow my own veggies. I want to be able to walk down to my garden and pick a cucumber for my salad. That's what I want to be able to do.
I'm currently on the thing of like, I'm in a house now. I have to worry about the grass. Fuck.
Oh yeah, I gotta get a lawnmower.
Oh, so I moved to this house, and I lived in an apartment for 3 years. I don't have a shovel. I had to go out and buy a shovel, and then it snowed like an hour later. And I was like, woo! Like, that would have been, I would have been stuck. It would have been so bad, because I wasn't buying a snowblower, but...
It snowed last year, like, heavily enough that it stuck for the first time since I lived here, and I've lived here for, like, 5 years. And I had to go and buy a, like, rough brush to, like, brush the snow off because it doesn't snow to the point where it's, like, so big. But I had to go and buy a brush and salt. So, to salt my sidewalk, because we were supposed to do that stuff. So that was my first experience as a homeowner. Just so much.
I live in Michigan. Our state is shaped like a mitten for a reason. A mitten and a scarf.
I love snow, and we don't get it here nearly enough. Which
you love it because doesn't come often, and you don't have to drive in it often.
Oh, are you kidding me? I went to Canada in February, and I was there for 2 weeks, and I drove around in it, and I fucking loved it.
I hate it.
Oh, I love it.
The magic of snow leaves, as soon as the holiday season is over, but as soon as, like, I had to drive in it, I was like, oh, this fucking sucks. I was wearing a lot today.
It's my normal. It's fun.
But I think, and the build buy, I think, goes really well with Realm of Magic stuff. And they had a lot of different woods that got
Cottage
added.
Witch vibes.
Yeah, there's been a lot of like, you are a potion witch.
Yep, I do like that. Also, the cross stitching made me really happy.
I like that you could use the llama wool. They probably picked llama and then went, what do we do? Like the milk and the cow goes hand in hand.
What do we do with the llama? Oh, wool. Oh, cross stitch.
I wonder if cross stitch came first or the llama came first.
I don't know. What came first, the cross stitch or the llama? Let's ask the devs on Twitter. I can't remember if you can also use the llama wool for knitting.
I don't think I've tried. Everybody who has llama is cross stitches.
Yeah.
For me.
Same. I would have to try. I'd have to see. I mean, why not, right? We'd have to check. But no, build buy mode for me is wonderful. I love it. I love the new kitchen. I use it all the time because I love rural kitchens, and I'm going to be moving into a new house, and I'm going to be looking at updating the kitchen. But I've been looking at all kinds of like rural styles, like country cottage styles, and my mom is just like, why? Which is great, but I don't know, man. It's just my jam. I like my kitchen to be homey and country-ish, like cottagey, not sleek and black and white and whatever. It's like, no, give me wood tones, give me some green, like a
you want it to
pop
be
of color.
inviting. You want it to be like, let's, even though you don't want people in the kitchen while you're cooking, like people gather in the kitchen.
Yeah, I don't know. It needs to be homey and cozy. Because, like, for me, the kitchen is the heart of the house. That's where you cook your meals. That's where you spend like a good chunk of your time. It feels to me like it should be a place where you want to be. For me, when I build a house in The Sims, the kitchen is always the room that I spend the most time on because I want it to be perfect.
I also think we have a lot of kitchen options. I think that helps.
Yes, which is also fun. Also, they have that farmhouse sink now that I absolutely love and that I want to have so bad.
And technically, Vanity got her stove. No, Vanity got her stove through the kit or through here.
I think it was a kit, yeah. But build buy is definitely a win for me. That was.
And the cast is also cute. They did a good job with the cast.
Yes, definitely. Some of those clothes are just like, gimme right now. Like the dresses.
I'm gonna go look up. There's a lot of sweaters, a lot of like durable looking clothes,
but also like gardening clothes.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that you're like, oh, I have to go feed the chickens. Let me put on my wellies and my dungarees and just dungarees or whatever.
Yeah, let me put my rain boots on.
Yeah.
And like they had a couple of cute, like, I like that. They've gotten so much better at hair. Even going back to look at the hair that we got.
The hair I absolutely love. That long braid is a hairstyle I use constantly, as well as the one with the bangs, because I have bangs right now. Like the short bob with the bangs.
Yeah, that's cute because it's got a little thing in the back. I like that you can put your hair back in a little bandana.
Oh, God, I love that. That's what my Sims always have for gardening.
And those cute little lace-up shoes.
Also cute. And kind of like those Mary Janes with like the heel that I really love. There's just like the cast is on point.
And there's a lot of cute, like there's a cute new nightgown. There's like a comfortable, it's comfortable. Like it's also like, I tend to give that to like, you're a mother now.
Nothing above the knee.
This house is cold. So you would want a longer.
Well, that's the thing with cottages. Like a lot of these stone cottages are very cold, so you want like warm nightgowns and socks.
Or a sim that I think would prioritize comfort over.
Absolutely. Like you've just been out puttering in the field all day or like working with your animals or whatnot. You just want to come home, take off the bra, and just let it all hang out.
And that cute dress that's like, it can come with like pineapples on it or cherries.
Oh, the swing dress? Oh, that is my jam. And it comes with a hairstyle that goes with it as well. Like the sort of like 50s retro style.
There's a white version of that dress. And I'm like, you will be a wedding dress.
Yeah,
someday.
That is absolutely a wedding dress. I actually have a black dress like that with a petticoat, cute. But instead of cherries, it has apples on it.
Oh, cute. And the dude's got less stuff, but I would say more versatile stuff than they normally get.
Yeah, for sure. And there's some really nice stuff in there to like go outside and work in the garden, like overalls and stuff that I really like. So that is
definitely. And we got a Crumplebottom outfit because Crumplebottom Jeans boots with it.
You cannot imagine how I squeed when I saw that. I was just like, yes!
Oh, also there's the overalls with the long striped shirt.
Yeah.
One with like a fox on it. But we got the trailer for this pack was so good. Like, shout out to whoever did that. Hi, Pumpkin, you're sneezing. The trailer was so good because there was like a reveal of her, and you could tell the fucking new people. We love you, new people playing. We can tell you're babies because you're like, who is this lady hitting me with a purse? And we're like, it is an honor.
Dare
it is an honor. You have been blessed by a Sims legend. So you do not
dare complain while the queen of the purse has graced you with her presence. Like, how fucking dare. The audacity. Sit down. Check yourself. Back in my day, we respected Agnes Crumplebottom.
Ooh, whenever she walks, sometimes when I play my 100 baby challenge thing, she walks by and I'm always like, ooh.
Yeah, whoops. No public displays of affection.
She walked by and it was during the time, I don't know if I've told you this story, but I was trying, I use the, you know how you can have groups? Get together. There's a get together pack. We have the groups. I was like, get to work, get to business, get to.
Yep. Get to. Got it.
Is get together and I make groups of like husband, like baby daddies to be and baby daddies, so I can just like keep moving the train along.
Yeah.
So when my 100 baby challenge matriarch died, the daughter who was going to become her heir, I added her in when the mom became an elder. She became the leader for one group, but not the other group. And I was like, excuse me? I think she became one for the baby daddies, but not the not yet ones. So I kept the one guy, like I asked him, like, can you please step down? I would like to, hi Kitty, I would like to lead this group as this is meant for me. And I don't think you're interested in what this is long term. He said no, and he was an elder. And I asked like a couple times, like I tried, I was like, well, maybe we're not friends enough. So I became his friend, and he said no. And I was like, this is becoming rude now. So I invited him over to the cow shed that was had at the time and woohooed him till he died.
Oh my God.
Because he wasn't doing what he should do.
Yeah. Nope, that's fair.
And then he died, and she still wasn't the leader of that group. And then Crumplebottom also like walked by while I was in the middle of it, and I was like, look away, don't look at this, you don't want to be involved in this.
No.
I don't want to have to implicate people I don't want to. But she still didn't become the leader of that group.
Want to be a witness to this.
But then she invited the next guy over, and he just agreed. So I was like,
plausible deniability. Oh my God.
The next guy just agreed, and I was like, as you should.
I fucking love that. Do what you gotta do.
He should have agreed to it.
Do what you gotta do. Oh,
Sims makes us sound nuts.
Yeah.
Whenever anybody talks about their own Sims story, you're like, out of context, this is wild.
Yeah. There's like this, I know there's like this Facebook group called like, what the fuck? Oh, it's a Sims group or something, which is amazing. But let's talk about traits. There are 2 new traits. One of them is an animal enthusiast trait, which means that these Sims are obsessed with animals and they will seek their company often, and they'll have an easier time caring for animals and getting closer to them.
Does this apply to pets?
I don't know.
It should, if it does.
It should.
Seems to.
We should check that out. There's also one called lactose intolerance.
Yes, if I list 3 things about myself, I do list, I don't know what the other 2 are, but lactose intolerant is one of my 3 personality traits.
Yes, definitely. These Sims will become sick if they eat dairy, but will feel great if they have avoided it for a while. I don't know who would willingly deny their Sims the pleasures of cheese, but sure.
I think somebody mentioned this when this came out. Somebody mentioned this, and I don't know who. This should be a like or dislike. Yeah. It shouldn't be a trait.
No.
Because there's only 3 things, and I'm not going to be like, I'm friendly, I can't remember any traits anymore.
And I'm lactose intolerant.
I'm friendly, I'm a dance machine,
and
I can't have milk.
No.
That's all you need to know.
Although, to be fair,
it does come up a lot.
I have encountered some people who were like, literally every time we went out to eat, like they got a salad and was like, is there dairy in this? No. It's sad.
I always feel bad because I have a friend who's she's got celiac, so she can't have gluten. Like, can I have it? So it's fun when we go out because we send like, well, sometimes if we're sitting next to each other, we'll be like, can you have that? I think you can have that. Can you? I can't have it, but yeah, I think you can. Like, we're just like looking at the menu, like, so if you get this without this thing, I think you can, but I think you'll have to ask about what's in this. Like, we'll just be just like in the menu, like, so if I get it, is it worth it without the cheese on it? Like, some of it's like, is it? So like, I can't have the fettuccine, but I wonder if they'd switch out salt. Like, it's I'm just like, well,
no. I already like for me. It's mostly difficult because, like, I had the bypass surgery, so my portions are smaller than the average human's portion. So basically anything that I have at a restaurant is too big for me to finish completely.
Leftovers!
Yeah, the thing is that's not really a thing here. At least it wasn't before Corona, but then like restaurants could only do takeout and all of a sudden everybody has takeout containers. So when I can't finish anything, they're like, "Do you want to take it home?" I'm like, "Yes. Yes, I do." So that's great. But before that, I was just looking at the kids menu and I was like, "Could I have this off the kids menu? Like you can charge me for a full meal. I don't mind. I need this to be small."
I need small.
Yeah. And I don't want to have take a normal meal and then ask them to make the portions smaller because I know that fucks up the entire vibe of the kitchen and I don't want to do that.
That's bonkers that they do have takeout stuff. But I guess your guys' portions are smaller than ours?
I guess because I heard American portions are ginormous. But it's like when we go to a tea room and I order a pancake, it's the crepes, the big French pancake, the big crepes. They usually give you 2, but I can only eat 1. So I'm like, listen to me, this is important. Charge me for 2, but only give me 1. And then they're just looking at me like, no, you don't understand. I won't finish 2. So I don't want you to have to throw away a whole pancake. Just charge me for 2, but just give me 1.
I wonder if they're just why does she want to be fucking charged for 2 when she's only going to eat 1?
Because if I ask for the child's pancake, which is only 1, they're like, "Oh, that's just for children." It's like, fine, then charge me for an adult portion and give me a child's portion. I don't care.
Order whatever you want. Come to the land of freedom where you can order off of any menu and they don't judge you. Or you can switch stuff up.
I fucking wish. Because I asked for a child's pancake once and they just looked at me as that's for children. Because it's cheaper. Right? So they're like, "Oh, you want to get out of paying full price?" No, I just want 1 pancake. You can charge me for 2, but just give me 1.
I think I was at an IHOP, which should be not a place of judgment ever, because it's an IHOP.
I'm not going to judge because I want to go to an IHOP, kind of. I just want to experience it.
I ordered a pop, which is a soda, for those not in the pop sounds more fun, so that's what it is. I ordered a pop, and it was 10:30. It was close enough to lunch to me. And it was when I wasn't really drinking coffee. I don't really like black coffee, and if it's dairy creamer, I can't have it. And I try to avoid mixing things.
I'm not judging. I drink Pepsi at 9 o'clock in the morning.
The waitress was very much it's not even 11 yet, and I was like, "This isn't what are you doing right now? It's an IHOP. I can't really have your coffee. Can't have chocolate milk. I don't really want orange juice. I'm here for sugar intake for pancakes. What are you doing?" I was like, "This is no place for me to be judged."
I don't get it either. But fortunately, I always go to a tea room that's owned by very good friends of mine.
Ooh.
So they know when I order 1 pancake. They know why. I'm not trying to cheat you out of money. I don't want to screw you over or anything. I just want 1 pancake. Charge me whatever the fuck you want. I just want to avoid you having to waste food because I hate wasting food.
I do actively try to order stuff because I know some people who they'll order something, but then by the time they're listing the substitutions, the things they don't want on it, blah, 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 it's a different thing entirely. So if I have to replace or remove 3 things, I'll probably not get it. Because the most I'll do is I don't want tomatoes or olives. Those are disgusting.
Yeah.
But otherwise.
I had someone once in a restaurant ask for the chicken pasta. So she was that was a pasta with chicken and curry. Curry powder. It's a curry sauce. Ooh. And it was chicken and curry and pasta. But can I have it? Instead of the chicken, can I have prawns? It's that's literally the prawn and curry pasta that's right underneath.
That's the next thing.
Just get that thing.
I was does she think she'll just be charged the chicken price?
I don't. Yeah, because prawns are more expensive, but obviously if you substitute it, it's going to be more expensive.
But if you substitute it, then you get charged. Some places don't charge. It depends on what you're substituting. But
yeah, I mean, if you're oh, can I have the chicken pasta, but can I have it with lobster instead? Obviously, it's not going to be the same price.
I'm now looking for lunch because I'm hungry.
Yeah, I need to make dinner soon because it's 6:30 here. So let's continue. There's a new aspiration as well. It's called Country Caretaker. They want to tend to the countryside and befriend all animals and critters.
Their reward trait, natural conversationalist. Sims have improved relationships with animals, allowing their animals to live longer, happier lives. Rabbits and birds will bring them more gifts, and they can interact with plants in unique ways, receiving more yields from harvest. They can also receive free grocery delivery when residing in Henfield Valley, a discount on their bills.
Nice. Also, I think Animal Enthusiast does not work with pets. I think here they're making a distinction between animals, which is like the livestock, and then pets is cats and dogs.
Ooh, it should work with pets.
Yep.
That's a good reward trait. Some reward traits not great. This one's pretty good. Free grocery delivery as I'm trying to get something from DoorDash.
I mean, we only have Uber Eats here.
I'm looking at sushi right now. I've fully just dropped sushi places because I don't like the eel sauce.
Oh,
no. I don't like it. And that's half the reason I'm getting sushi is I want eel sauce.
I've been craving sushi for so long, but I have to drive into town if I want it, and it's too late. Also, I can't leave Alfie alone.
Puppy.
There's a new radio station called Cottage Core, but it's kind of broken for me. There's this bug that if I play Cottagecore and I have the earbuds in my inventory, the music will just keep playing even if all of the musical devices are off, and it'll be all crackly and staticky, and it sounds like your radio's possessed. So there's that. I haven't used music stations or the Cottagecore station since that bug, and I don't know if they fixed it. It terrifies me because it sounds
like. What does the Cottagecore station sound like?
Very nice, very chill, nice. Lots of acoustics, and I like it. But I listen to a lot of Cottagecore on Spotify, so there's that. There are new NPCs. We have talked about Agnes Crumplebottom. Apparently now she has a sister called Agatha as well. There's Michael Bell, who's the creature keeper. There's Kim Goldblum, who's the shopkeeper. There's Lavina Chopra, who's the mayor, and Rahul Chopra, her son, who's the grocery deliverer. Now, these are important because those are the NPCs that can kind of give you quests to do that then give you rewards that can help you upgrade your sheds, your animal sheds, or they can give you new patterns for cross stitch or recipes or whatever.
And Raoul, he is a teenager.
Yeah.
But when he ages up, he marries into whoever I'm playing it. I always feel creepy being like...
You're already on the list. Okay. You found a young adult.
I see you. Oh yeah, I had to go on a hunt for my legacy person aged up. I now have to go dig through my entire town to see if there's an attractive young adult male or if I...
Goddamn.
Because it's a speed legacy, so if I get an adult and he ages I guess it's a dude, so I guess it doesn't matter as bad. No, I like the guy I found.
There's mathematics happening. But there's a bunch of new families, and there's also new plants.
Wait. I want to talk about the Sims.
Oh.
Because wonder what they did in this town? There's stuff is in the middle of happening when you showed up. Oh. There's people who have, gone on dates that didn't go well. There's people who, well, I don't really like so-and-so. There's stuff already built in. There's lore in this freaking game. Let me go find...
Mind blown.
Because, Michael Bell, he is just in the woods all creepy, for some reason.
Yup. He is the creature keeper.
He's got special abilities. Says can befriend him. They run errands. He's not romantic. When you start, there is a person named Cecilia King. She's by Kong. By the time you start, she's a solo young adult sim in the world.
Yep.
They already had a very awkward date when you start the game.
Yeah, I remember that.
His biography is, Michael's always found more comfort in company of animals than with other Sims, which make for awkward dates, but serves him well as the Bramble Woods creature keeper. He's been the informal caretaker of the various plants, animals, and calls his place home ever since. I wonder if Cecilia King has it in her bio. It does. Cecilia, she's still looking for someone to share this life with, though. After a date, she'd love to forget with the local creature keeper, Michael Bell. She's happy to only form long-term attachments with the critters that visit now. So, we don't know what happened,
Ooh.
But they had not a great date.
Ooh.
And, I think one of the Sims families, there's a family that has kids, and I think the marriage is kind of not on good terms.
Oops.
When you start. So, there's lore. These people have been there for a while, and it's great. These people have skills already in certain areas. Do you know how long it's been since we had skills in these people when we start?
That is true. That is amazing. I do like that.
So make more noise about people, having lore in the town when we start.
Yes, please make them more than just, placeholders. Please.
Oh, and they have Michael Bell and Cecilia both have sentiments. Michael Bell is still smitten with Cecilia, but Cecilia has an awkward after bad date.
Ooh, oh my god, I gotta check this out now. Okay, this sounds okay. We're gonna deep dive into this. There's lore, guys. There's lore.
That's just some of it. Like that's just is very exciting for me. I was like, oh my, like I had a reason to like go into be like, what are? It's something I want to know what happened here. It's something I like to do in Sims 2. I just want to go in and like look at all like the relationship statuses and be like, interesting. Something happened.
I get that. All right. Well, you also have new plants. So there's the new giant crops, which is like a different type of crop. There's aubergine, lettuce, mushroom, pumpkin, and watermelon. Those are the giant crops. There's also blueberries, choco berries, raspberries, and then there's also like chicken egg, cow milk, and llama wool. But let's talk about these giant plants, like these big crops for a little while. The aubergine, lettuce, mushroom, pumpkin, watermelon. Those are like a complete new system of plant. So before you wanted to like plant a crop, you had to have like, the seed, which was the crop, which you had to plant one by one into like a planter pot. But the giant crops are basically there's a new plot, like basically a garden plot that you can plop down on the ground, and you basically sow them, and they immediately have like neat little rows of your crops like sowed out. You only have to like do the action once. You don't have to like place them, plant them, blah blah. There's just like boop, and they're there, which is great. There's also fertilizer.
That you can get from animals.
So if you muck out your stables and clean out your chicken coops, you get fertilizer. And these different fertilizers have different aspects. There's like a fertilizer that you can use so you don't have to care about your plant. There's one that will help them, that'll help your chances of getting like a big crop. There's all of that, which is great. What bothers me is that they didn't overhaul every single crop that you have, because these giant crop, like this whole system, I fucking love it. It's amazing.
Now, why didn't they make more like the fast plants?
That's what I wanted. Why didn't you overhaul the old system and the old crops to fit this new system?
Because I think only giant plants are available if you get Cottage Living, and if they overhauled
exactly
then all of them, then that wouldn't be a Cottage Living feature. It would be a
but they did that though.
Update.
They did that though. They did that. You would still be able to do. If you had Snowy Escape, you would still have like snow and everything, even if you didn't have seasons. You would have that like snowy area. They've done that before, or at least like something. They gave everybody the radio stations as well.
If they do, because the snowy is just like in this area, it's snowy, and if they did that concept for the overgrown plants, it'd be only in Hadford and Bagley can you do the overgrown crops. But you can do the overgrown crops anywhere if you have Cottage Living.
Look, man, you're making us buy vacuum cleaners for $5. You can give us updated crops.
The vacuum cleaners worth the $5. The gameplay of the broken dust was $5. Yep. Let's put the blame where the blame goes. The vacuum cleaners were not $5.
That's true. There's nothing wrong with those vacuum cleaners. The rest, however.
But also point to Bust the Dust, which I noticed while I was playing. The Bust the Dust feature went right into how we deal with birds and rabbits and foxes. It's the same type of format. So I think they were testing out that feature before they put it, like, to make sure it worked before this game came out. Because Bust the Dust came out like a year before?
Maybe.
If not like 6 months or so before. It was like a test run. Because there's nothing wrong with like the dust, the cute little dust bunnies in that feature.
It's just the system's kind of broke.
Yeah, the dust feature's broken. But the dust bunnies are perfect and should never be removed. It's part of the reason that it's like fine and we'll keep them because it's like little pudding's so cute.
But yeah, no, it just bugs me that we only have that system for like these 5 specific crops. Like, please just give us the rest so we can make a uniform farm. Please, because it just bugs me that I have like my giant crops. They don't look the same as my other crops. That's why I'm like, this is farming light. Because you have an amazing system with these giant crops that you can actually make a functioning farm out of. But then it doesn't mesh with what we already have in terms of like gardening and growing crops. So like make it uniform, Make it a full farm pack. Give us the older crops in the same system as the giant crops. That's the hill I want to die on now.
That might come later, because like some stuff, like they added the calendar. The calendar makes sense base game. I wasn't mad when they shared the calendar. Some people were, but I was like, you don't get seasons for the calendar. The calendar was just like really the first new feature that was introduced in The Sims 4 that I felt like we absolutely needed a calendar.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was a good one.
So I am wondering, like, maybe down the road they might, if they add more farming stuff. But I do think because large crops are a cottage living feature, if they tweaked it to affect, they had to find a way to contain it, I guess. And if they wanted to be able to grow large crops outside of the new area, they had to keep it locked to the new crops.
Yep.
I guess.
I don't know, man. I'm going to keep advocating for this.
I do get it, but I'm trying to figure out why they didn't do that.
My guess, there was going to be a pack or a kit or something that's going to maybe do that, or they're going to have kits that add new crops or something like that.
I think it'd be a free update, but like in 6 months.
I wouldn't mind. Like if like something like they did it like they did with Spa Day, like, you know, I wouldn't.
Of all the packs that need a revamp, this is the bottom of the list, though.
Absolutely.
So,
but hopefully at some point. But yeah, that's like all the new stuff that you can get crop-wise. There's also new activities.
You can befriend birds and wild bunnies and wild foxes, and it's adorable.
It's great.
They all have little names. You can once you befriend wild birds or wild bunnies, you can then place. You can put a little bird tree or little rabbit hollow, and then you can name it, and then those ones can become your friends. It's great. But they do die, and it's sad.
Yeah, it's oh god. The first time that happened, I was like, "Wait, what?"
Peter died.
Not great.
Canning, which is okay. I wish you could do more with the stuff you can.
That's the thing. That's my big, like, I told you we were going to come back to this. This is the moment. I loved canning in The Sims 3. You know why I loved canning in The Sims 3? Because when you made jam, you could put it on bread, and you could put it on scones, and you could eat it, like, on bread and scones, the way jam is supposed to be eaten. What maniac eats jam straight out of the jar with a spoon?
Straight out of the jar.
Look, we've all been there.
I've done it, but you're not supposed to.
We've all spooned Nutella or peanut butter straight out of the jar with a spoon. We've all had those bad days, but those are outliers, okay? Those are extremely bad days that we just like, that's something that we need to heal our soul. It's not something we do every single day when we want to eat jam. No, you put it on bread. You put it on scones. That's how you eat it.
Hey, EA. Are you okay?
Are you okay? Right? Like, I know you can use them as well as like fillings and like fruit pies and stuff, but like...
And the tomato... I will say, like, I don't have tomato jam often, but there was a food truck that I used at one point I went to before it discontinued, where they had a grilled cheese thing with tomato jam on it, and it was maybe the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life.
One of my absolute favorite things is the onion confit, which is basically onion jam that my mom makes, and she makes it out of red onion, and that with a cheese plate is absolute heaven. Like, you get some nice bread, French bread, with some nice brie, and then just put that onion jam on it. Great. But you don't spoon it straight out of the jar, you goddamn psycho!
Yeah. Whoever is in charge of the jam thing. It's okay. Come here. Safe space. If you need to talk, we are here.
Go to therapy! Sorry.
I am here. Don't talk to Ava right now. She's upset.
I just don't get it. I don't understand.
If you need to do this for you, that's fine, but...
Don't drag us into this, please.
Yeah. You made it public, and that might be... Not public, but you made it an everyday thing, and that's...
It's not great. It's great.
It's a warning sign is all.
Yeah.
I'm just worried.
Yeah.
I'm just worried.
Maybe go listen to some podcasts and use their code for like 10% off your first month at BetterHelp. Maybe BetterHelp.com.
You can collect eggs.
Yes.
You can feed and hatch chickens. It's cute.
Yep.
You can craft with wool.
Yep.
You can be large and overproduced products. You can have picnics, which Ava and I can't figure out how to do, but I think that says more about us than the system. I don't think, to be fair, I haven't tried too hard. So
yeah, no, me neither. I need to figure that out.
That's an us problem, not a them problem. Ordering groceries, this was a big update because they also added it as a free patch thing.
That was super fun to have.
I like it so much. I don't know why it's called Zoomers. I feel like that was a placeholder name and they didn't. It's not their normal. Normally their pun works better than that.
It's like Zoomer, that because it kind of sounds like Uber.
It made me think of okay, Boomer.
Yeah, something like that. Like, okay, Zoomer.
So I was like, I feel like they're normally a little bit.
It reminds me of that Bo Burnham song, 30, where he's like, I used to make fun of the boomers in retrospect a bit too much, and now all these fucking Zoomers are telling me that I'm out of touch. It's like, is that a dig at us? Is that a dig at us millennials? I don't know.
You can participate in the Finchwork Fair. They reworked it because they did it wrong the first time. You can shear wool from the llamas. Also, the llama's in a bad mood. The same with the milking the cow. If your cow or llama doesn't like you, it won't let you do that to them.
Nope.
If they're in a bad mood and they don't want to be shorn or milked,
don't touch me.
Yeah, they will tell you not to. And you can run errands for the locals. Have you run any errands for the locals? Did you immediately hunt down Agnes Crumplebottom?
I have. We are best friends now. She basically sent me around town to reprimand people for various things, which I loved. We're BFFs now.
You winked at somebody, and
we have brunch every Sunday. We have mimosas. It's great. Yeah, but that's basically.
Some of the errands take longer because sometimes they'll be like, "I want a large pumpkin," and you're like, "Pumpkins aren't in season right now, you bitch!" Like, I just turned one in.
But the large crops don't have seasons.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They don't have seasons, but it does take a while because you have to. If they want a giant pumpkin, you have to actually be able to grow one. So, and it takes a couple days to grow one.
I was so mad because I just sold one, and I was like, "You."
I had literally just sold all of my milk, and this bitch is like, I want milk. I want 6 bottles of milk. I'm like, you couldn't have told me that like 5 minutes ago. Just sold them to you. That was great.
Oh, you can also, there's stuff that like you can be like a Henford friend, so you can like be there for people, and also if you're like, they'll just be like, "Oh, I'm just giving you a gift today. No pressure for." But if you want to be a part of our town,
Finchwick favors. The Finchwick favors. Yeah.
It's very much like, thank you, but now I feel like I need to go give a gift to somebody else now.
Yeah, that's like, there's like, I'm giving you a Finchwick favor, and then you have to give, it's like paying it forward or something.
Which I get, but also you're like, ugh.
Yeah. Did you hear about that pay it forward thing that was going in a Starbucks drive-thru, and this guy broke like a 26 car streak for a good reason?
Oh, because there was like 20 people behind him or something?
No, because the person, like, his bill was $6, but the person behind them had a bill for $46, and he was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do
no. I did see an article saying, like, don't pay it forward, tip your barista.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the people behind you can afford it. Let's not, like, that's why they're in line. Maybe just tip
if I wanted to pay it forward, I'd be like, what's the bill for the person behind me? Okay, cool, $10. Here's a $10 tip.
Yeah.
Let them pay for their own coffee.
Or in that guy's case, like, I'm just gonna pay $6 towards their thing.
Pay my own coffee.
Because it doesn't. Yeah.
$46. I would not pay someone's $46 coffee.
Was that 2 drinks that they ordered?
If it's a Starbucks, probably.
I really like Big B. That's and there's no Big B near me. That's on the way to work anymore.
I went to Disney last week with my mom, and in the Disney Village in Paris, because I don't get to go. I don't get to go to the fancy American one, so we get the knockoff European one.
There's nice things said about the France one.
It's all right. It's like Disney Light compared to what you have in America. Like, it's definitely a lot smaller.
Let's say the whole world.
But we have but we have the Disney Village, which is really cool because it has like the Rainforest Cafe and the Earl of Sandwich shop, and then now it has a Starbucks. And my mom hates Starbucks coffee. She thinks it's trash. I like it. It's not the best coffee in the world, but I like it.
I have strong opinions about the Tim Hortons coffee because like we're so close to it.
I like Tim Hortons.
I hate it.
But we went to Starbucks, and I was going to get me a coffee, and she wanted a hot chocolate. And I was like, well, there's Starbucks in the village on the way to our hotel. And she's like, Starbucks. And I was like, look, it's the only thing that we have, and your knees are really hurting. So let's go and sit down and have a hot chocolate. And so I got her the hot chocolate, and she was like, I don't like their coffee, but their hot chocolate was pretty good. And I was like,
because it's probably just chocolate syrup straight
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was it, but
with some steamed milk.
She liked it, and I got to have my coffee, so there's that.
I also have an issue with Tim Hortons because A, they I don't think their coffee's good. B, they don't have any dairy-free alternatives.
Their French vanilla was delicious. I'm not going to say anything other about Tim Hortons because I really liked it.
Their donuts are good.
Timbits,
amazing.
I think when you go to Tim Hortons drive-thru and you have a dog with you, they get a Timbit.
Yeah. Nothing against Timbits, but their coffee, to me, is...
yeah, if I say anything bad about Tim Hortons, I think my Canadian friend is going to come for me. So, hi, Dana, love you.
They're everywhere because I'm so close to Canada. Like,
no, we don't get them here. We have a Dunkin' Donuts now in Brussels, so whenever I go into the office, I'm like, oh god, get me donut.
I didn't know. So, like, you got new mushrooms.
Yeah.
There's a crap ton of new mushrooms now, and I didn't know what, like, you just kind of don't know what they do until you eat them.
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't know. I should have guessed, but the charming one makes everybody flirty.
Yeah.
So you can make everybody gets very flirty from this mushroom soup that I made, and I made it for a family, and I was like, the toddler is flirty, and I don't like it.
It's basically Viagra in soup form. Yeah.
The soup looked pretty good, though. So we got new recipes. They include bangers and mash, beef Wellington, canned food, jars of jam, milk bread, crumpets, pie, Yorkshire pudding, and also the soups. Also, we got two new deaths that I have not used yet, have not done. You can die by chicken or by rabbit.
I've not seen either of those because I'm always very nice to my chickens and my rabbits, so...
No, you can send them to go kill people.
Oh my god, really?
I think the chickens you can go send. One second.
Killer chicken. So you can basically do Monty Python's Holy Grail and raise a killer rabbit.
Yeah.
The beast
killer
of
rabbit. Chickens. If you watch the kind of jump to 174, you'll see a lovely female sim being brutally attacked by a chicken. Chickens can viciously attack Sims, and after 2 consecutive attacks, the Grim Reaper will gladly pay you a visit. To prevent your chickens from attacking you, make sure to take good care of them, ensure they're well fed, upgrade chicken coop whenever you have a chance. I swear you could send them to attack people.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Sims can befriend wild rabbits, but if you repeatedly use negative interactions meant to scare them, they'll attack you. And if you don't want that to happen, don't use scare wild rabbit, don't taunt mercilessly, and don't accuse of being a pest.
Oh my god, you could basically reenact Legend of Zelda with the chickens by pissing them off so that they'll come for you.
But if you do survive, you'll get a barely escaped a killer rabbit dazed moodlet.
Wow.
Or if they get attacked again while dazed, they'll quickly meet their maker.
Oh,
so it's like like if you get electrocuted and then you get shocked again, you die. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, you have to wait until the moodlet's gone.
And like there's the evil chickens too, the black ones.
Yeah.
Racist.
Oh wow. Yeah. That was like, okay.
Well, they're like black with like red eyes.
Yep. So yeah, that's basically it. You've heard most of our thoughts throughout it.
I will say, as someone who did not care about farming, this was a really good pack.
Yeah.
I didn't want it. I didn't care about it, but it makes such a good... You feel busy. Like, you feel busy. There's stuff to do, stuff you gotta achieve.
Wake up in the morning, feed your chickens, clean out the coop, etc. That, like, it's a nice routine to have. Mm-hmm. You, like, get up in the morning and you're like, oh, right, I gotta go feed the chickens.
And, like, it's stuff, like, you can just have chickens in your suburban home and it won't take over your entire life. Toddlers interacting with chickens is really cute.
It's so cute. Also with bunnies.
Yeah. A bok bok. Or, like, they'll look at the birds.
Yeah.
It's overall
it's a good pack.
Like, the worst thing you can say about it is that the harvesting didn't get across everything.
Yeah. That and the fact that they eat jam with a spoon.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
I'm sorry, I'm very upset about it.
But I do feel like that they did that to lock that into this game, to make you want to play this game, as opposed to making it a patchy thing. Like they would either have to lock it into the town or lock it into certain things that became available.
Yeah.
So I think that's why. But yeah, as far as expansion packs go, this is one of the best ones. I think this is right up there. Like, I think if Henford and Bagley was an option when we did our draft, I don't know if it would have beat City Living.
Oh, it would have for me. Absolutely, 100% would have won for me.
It's got the same amount of like things to do that San Moschino does too. Like it just makes sense, everything that's there, and there isn't a lot that they drop the ball on.
Mm-hmm.
Which, considering that happens a lot, yeah. Also, it's so pretty. Like the Aurora Borealis happening a lot of the times. If you're,
I always said that I loved the place from the Magic Pack. What's it called again? Glimmerbrook. I love Glimmerbrook in winter. It is absolutely
Glimmerbrook in winter is really pretty,
gorgeous in winter. Henford on Bagley as well.
Mm-hmm. Something about trees and woods and the way the sun hits it.
I don't know. I really like it. It's it's a win. It's a win for me. I think it's a solid 8 for me. 8.5 out of 10.
I can't think of a full pack that beats it, I guess.
Yeah. Same.
City Living might. Like, it's right up there with City Living, and I can get together.
For me, firmly this one and Snowy Escape.
Like, as far as necessary to make your gaming better, this is a buy.
It definitely has a lot of aspects that you can use in like your everyday play. Like, that's not just tied to the new location, where Snowy Escape, it's very much tied.
It's very tied
to Mount Komorebi. But, apart from Henford on Bagley, you can raise chickens anywhere. You can raise cows and llamas anywhere. You can do the canning anywhere. You can grow the stuff anywhere. And you can still go to Henford on Bagley and, like, do the things that you want there and participate in, like, the Finchwick Fair or whatever. It's not really tied very much to... Whereas Mount Komorebi, for me, it kind of feels like the festivals and everything. It just feels kind of weird, like, hopping over to them if you don't live there.
Yeah.
Because it's a completely different vibe. But I don't know, man. Cottage Living for me it's a complete pack. It's a complete pack.
Yeah. And some of these, like, some of the packs that come out, like game pack, stuff pack, like, I don't think, like, if you like the vibe, get it. But this one, even if you don't think you want it, go. If you don't think you want it, then maybe wait for a sale.
Yeah, but if you have
necessary, this is what I consider necessary Sims 4 purchase.
Yeah, but definitely give it a shot because it's definitely worth it. There's a lot to do.
Do you think they're ever gonna go back to we're offering this expansion for a weekend? Remember when they did that for City Living? They tried that out.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. If that comes up again and you have that chance, fucking go for it. But yeah, that's basically it.
We did it.
Yeah, really good one. If you want to tell us how you feel about the new pack or about eating jam with a spoon, about how it's just for psychos, tell us on social media. We are Plumbobcast on Instagram and Twitter. We are Plumbob Podcast on Reddit. We are under the Plumbob Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr. We have a website, plumbobcast.com. That's a new website address. It will take you to the beautiful, beautiful website that our wonderful, amazing Julia created. Go check it out. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can...
Did we get a contact form that was still in Swedish to our email?
Yes. Yes, we did. But yeah, you can also email us if you don't want to use that Swedish contact form. You can also email us on undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com.
Please subscribe, rate, and review. Apple Podcasts has reviews. We like to read them out when we get them. Spotify, there's a star rating, so please go rate us 5 stars on that, because I don't really understand how it works, but please go do that. Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, other podcast playing devices.
If you want us on something that we don't know about, let us know. We'll see if we can get it done.
Research team was Ava. Thank you so much.
It was me, because I had feelings about this pack. Mostly about eating jam with a spoon. Seriously though, who does that?
You guys don't want to know how many pages were about jam.
So much. I have a manifesto. I basically got all of my information off of Sims Wiki. They are still amazing, and they do the Lord's work. It's great.
Thank you to the Sims community, because we keep an eye on the pulse. We try to. Simmers Digest, always friend of the pod. Thank you very much.
And also thank you to everybody who voted for us in the Simmy Awards.
Yay! Award winning.
For those of you who did not know yet, we won Best Podcast.
We We covered that in our last episode, and we also went over some of the winners. If he does it again next year, get those nominations in. Because people were mad about people who were up for a win, but they weren't there for the nomination. So get those nominations in.
So definitely nominate. But seriously, when I saw that we won, I couldn't believe it. It was just like, what? How?
When we were talking, Jess was like, we were all so happy to be nominated, but did not think we would win.
No,
like it's
absolutely not. But it means the world to me. It made my mom cry.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, oh my god, I can't believe you won. I'm so proud of you. You guys, you made my mom cry in a good way, and you made her proud of me. So thank you for that.
It's more of like, look, it's a real thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, people actually listen to us. It's great.
We don't know, but apparently, yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you next time.
Drink some water, wear your mask. Don't forget to save.
Save your game.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yes. Alfie says bye too.
Bye.
Barish. Dag dag.